cases that speak to circumstantial evidence. Some very critical areas I think will guide my findings. Ahmed, Mohammed, and another versus Republic 2019 speaks to circumstantial evidence is often the best evidence. It is evidence of surrounding circumstances which, by intensified examination, is capable of proving a proposition with the accuracy of mathematics. It is no derogation from evidence to say that it's circumstantial. Republic versus Juma Kaviha Kalama. Circumstantial evidence is particularly powerful when it proves a variety of different facts, all of which point to the same conclusion. I have given my own emphasis, on the following. It works by culminatively in geometrical progression against other possibilities that has been likened to a rope composed of several cords. One strand of a cord might be insufficient to sustain the weight, but 3 strands put together may be quite of sufficient strength. There may be a combination of circumstances, no one of which would raise a reasonable suspicion, but the 3 taken together may create a strong conclusion of guilt with as much certainty as human affairs can require or admit. Emphasis added. Having considered the evidence in this matter, it is the finding of this court, yes. The case is based on circumstantial evidence, but the prosecution has adduced adequate evidence and has met the threshold. And to sum up, did the first accused person kill the deceased? It is the finding of this court. I'll play back for purposes of my finding. The first accused person stole the ID of Dominic Becerra 2 days prior to the commission of the offense, armed himself with a gun, carried a kanzu, put it over his cloth, went to Ramuria Gardens, disguised his identity, gained access to the apartment of the deceased, murdered the deceased, left the deceased house, changed his clothes, and eventually went home and burnt the cloth which he wore during the commission of the offense. It is the finding of this court that all this evidence taken culminatively leads to a strong conclusion that the first accused person murdered the deceased. And therefore, it is the finding of this court that the prosecution has proved beyond reasonable doubt all the ingredients of the offense of murder. The death occurred, the cause of that death, the person who, and in this case the first accused, I'm still on the first accused person, committed that offense, it was not a case of homicide, excusable homicide, it was unlawful. And therefore I find the first accused person guilty as charged hearing of the offense of murder, that on the night of 19th of September 2018, at an unknown time at Ramuria Gardens apartment, Kitale Lane off Dennis Prit, with others known before this court, he murdered Monicah Nyawira Kimani. The evidence by the prosecution against the second accused